So you might be trying to figure out, how to basically fix your PlayStation controller not turning on at all. Now, this can happen for a few different reasons, but the very first thing I'd recommend doing for the most part is making sure that your controller was plugged in and charged up completely at some point. If your controller is not plugged in and if it's not working, well, that's probably going to be the main issue that you're having there. So make sure your controller was charged up. Hopefully, there's not a component inside that's messed up, like a battery or whatever. So plug in your controller, make sure that thing is charged up, and that can probably end up fixing the problem right there. Now, if that doesn't seem to be working, the other thing you're going to want to try is basically making sure that your controller and that wire that you're using is actually properly set up, and making sure that wire that you are charging with is actually a good battery. In some cases, if you're plugging in a specific charger, now this is not the compatible charger, it may not work. So you may want to replace the wire itself and see if it's a different wire that may end up, actually causing the issues. Now, another thing, you want to make sure that if you're actually plugging in or using your controller directly with your PlayStation, you want to make sure that you're actually syncing up your controller with that PlayStation or your PC or whatever it is. So what you're going to want to do is you want to put your controller in pairing mode if you're trying to pair it up with a device. So you can hold the share button that's on the top left corner and the PlayStation button at the same time. And if the blue lights start blinking on the front, that basically means your controller is pretty much, going to be able to be paired up with those other devices. Now, if these blue lights come up now, that means your controller is functioning. But if these blue lights are still not coming on, you may want to actually inspect this PlayStation button. So if this PlayStation button is the issue and for some reason this button's not working, well, you want to make sure you're holding it down completely all the way. And if this button is broken, let's say you recently spilled water on it or you threw the controller, that can cause some issues too. So just make sure that your controller is, perfectly fine. Make sure that your controller is not having issues with the PlayStation button. And as long as that's not the case, you might be good to go there too. But for a majority of people out there, as long as your controller is plugged in, if you can plug it in or try a different wire with your PlayStation 5 or your PC or whatever you're trying to plug it into, that can also help kind of fix the situation as well. So in terms of that, that kind of covers it up there. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video.